Also, we're gonna slightly take this away from an interview, and Denise, you're just gonna keep saying nice things about us because we don't get complimented a lot.
We're just gonna, we're just gonna have her come on every week to start the show, say a nice thing.
Nice things with Denisse Dae.
Hey!
What is up, Wrestle Geeks? It's Big Mike here with another special edition of the Countdown City Wrestlecast. With me, as always, I have my partner in crime, that guy Tommy.
What's up, guys?
What is up? And as you can see, we have a very special guest.
Yes.
It was already getting started as we were doing the intro here. She is the dream catcher, Denisse Dae, and she is joining us, and we are very happy.
Sorry.
I wasn't sure what noise you were going there for a second.
I ended up on the fly.
So, thank you, Denisse, for joining us. We really do appreciate it.
Of course. No problem. It's fine. It's about time, right? It's about time because we've been planning this for a while.
Few months.
Just
and I told Tommy, because to pull back the curtains a little bit, you messaged me that this might not have been able to happen a couple of days ago. And I told Tommy, like, even if it does, it's fine. But I told him I was going to start on the podcast each week saying that we were interviewing you, but each week I would just say the exact same thing, never reference that it actually happened, to just be like, oh, we got an interview.
I said we should have made it a joke, like how Jimmy Kimmel always says he's going to have Matt Damon on, but we ran out of time for him. And just like almost how like every week you like film me like you at your house, just like I was ready though. Why am I just sitting?
It would have been fun.
That would have been hilarious.
it's been a little bit chaotic, and that's why. Okay, and that's why I messaged Mike, and I was like, hey, like training got moved, so I'm gonna actually be able to do it tonight. And it just everything started to fall into place. So it's
yes.
And that's what's awesome.
Yeah, we're glad. And actually pulled the curtains back a little more than I was the one running late today, but we're here and we're gonna get this done.
I was the one who didn't have anything going on today. And that's weird. That's weird when I don't have something going on during a day that a day and Mike does. That's like a total role reverse. I was like,
really
whoa, that felt wrong.
I am normally the one with no life, so yeah.
Oh my god.
No, don't say that.
Okay, all right. Denisse.
Yes. Who we're talking about.
In your childhood, did you grow up watching wrestling? Were you a wrestling fan from a young age? When did you start getting into it?
So my mom had a best friend, right? Like for me growing up, and all she had was boys.
Okay.
And one time I went over and they were watching wrestling. I had no idea of anything with wrestling. But then I hear like this theme song, right? And curiosity got the best of me. So I went into their room and it was John Cena. All right, I will admit it was John Cena. And I sat down, I watched it, and I told myself, this is pretty badass. And ever since then, I would play with them, right? Like I would be the referee. I would never be the wrestler. I would always just be the referee. I low-key wanted to be the wrestler, but I never told them. But ever since that, I was around 8 years old when I discovered wrestling, and I just fell in love with it. And one of the earliest memories I have, and that says a lot because I have a Dory brain. I remember going into YouTube and searching up like wrestling, right? And I remember seeing this video. I don't know if I can remember correctly, but it was Kane burying the Undertaker. Was it something like that? And
yeah, I think that's happened twice with them.
Yeah, so I don't know. I just fell in love with the idea of watching wrestling, and I would wait for Monday Night Raw
and burying people
down. Yeah, I would bring my nephews with me and be like, watch this. Entertain yourself.
Funny, I think that's what my sisters blame me for my nephews liking wrestling so much, because I would do that. Like, Uncle Tommy, what are you watching? Oh, come nephew, watch this. And then my sister was like, my sister was like, damn it, now we gotta take them to stuff. I was like, yep, you're welcome.
Yeah, and they liked it to a point where now I was able to be the wrestler because they were my nephews and I can actually hit them, right? Like we could actually hit each other because it's family. So
Nice.
and so it was fun. I actually got to be a wrestler this time.
Oh, sure. When you say I get to hit them, sure, it's fine, and they can say it. But when I say it, it's Tommy's playing too rough with the kids, and he needs to calm down.
Tommy, you're the adult here. God.
First of all my nephews are as big, if not bigger, than me. I don't care when they were toddlers; they were some giant children. Okay, so I was more than anything, I was defending myself. Okay, I would make that.
Self-defense. Self-defense. That's what it was here.
There you go.
And so another question along those lines that we find interesting with different people. Did you ever, after initially getting into wrestling, when you got to like that kind of teenage years, did you kind of go away from it for a bit because it wasn't cool, or did you stay with it the whole way?
No, I actually stayed the entire time.
Nice.
Like I said, I fell in love with it. And
Okay.
I remember being in high school and I was known as the wrestling chick because I was the only girl that liked wrestling there at
Right.
point, apparently. So they would even ask me like, hey, you should do I forgot what it's called. But they initiate that there should be a wrestling
Or like a club or
Oh, like a
organization.
club,
wrestling
yeah.
club. Yeah. And I was like, I'm so down for it. But obviously never happened, sadly. But it's okay. So because I discovered that here in Laredo there was local wrestling happening because I didn't know at the time. One of my best friends took me. And it was the LWA, right? And I sat down. I went to every single show. I would help them tear down the ring, set up the ring, any part to be in the wrestling. Set up the chairs, anything, you name it. And one time, one of the wrestlers, actually, it's my coach now, he messaged me because he saw me always there at the shows. He's like, hey, if you're ever interested in becoming a professional wrestler, I am a trainer. Like, you should come over and check it out for yourself, right?
Yeah.
I told my mom about it, but the thing is that I have an older sister. She is disabled. So we don't really get to like, she didn't really want to move a lot. And obviously I didn't drive at the time. So it was always hard for her to take me to training. But the second I turned 18, I got a car. And the first thing I did is took myself to training classes. And ever since then, I fell in love with it. And I just stuck to it. I never let it go. I guess I became obsessed with it. So I don't know.
No, that's awesome.
I mean, it seems to
We
work.
love
See,
that.
I mean, it worked out for you in the end. I
Yeah.
Yeah.
So so you're turning 18, you get your car. Had you gone to like little training things before that, or was that your first training after you?
Well, I begged my mom to take me to at least one training class, which she did, right?
Okay.
But honestly, I was only there for a day. I'm so sorry. I was only there for a day just to, I guess, to experience it because I knew I was not going to be able to come all the time.
Right.
But my actual training began when I went at 18. And what was it? Yeah, I was 18, 19. I remember being around that age. It was so close. But yeah, no, I just stuck around, and like I said, the second I got my first car, I knew exactly where I wanted to go and what I wanted to do. So I went and did it. And also my mom was not a big fan of me loving wrestling. So that also helped her idea not taking me because she would think that it's just for boys. And she was like, no, that's for boys. You're a girl, you should be girly and, all this stuff. But
She never heard of Lita. Okay.
I guess not. I'm like, you do realize that, like I said, I have an older sister who's disabled. So I didn't get to have those girl things, right? Like wear makeup and do shoes and all this stuff. No, I had two older brothers who, I don't even have to explain how I grew up with boys and with my nephews also being boys. So I learned to be pretty rough and tough and very like tomboyish. And that's how I was for most of my most of my growing up. I was very tomboy. My mom would like be like, "You don't want to wear a dress? You don't want to wear some heels? Are you sure you don't want to?" I'm like, "No, I'm okay." She's like, "Go, put on some makeup. Go hang out with your girls." And I'm like, "I'm okay. I'll stick with the boys. They're cool."
You come
um,
back looking like Sting.
yeah.
Go makeup. Okay, sure. I'll go put on makeup. Next thing you know, you come in like just what? That's not okay. Well, I guess I said makeup. I just didn't know what she was gonna take it there.
I legit have a video of my mom, like where I'm barely getting to work because I used to work at Pizza. That was my first job.
Nice.
And I have a video where my mom is legit trying to put lipstick and makeup on me while I'm getting out of the car. I'm like, no, no,
I
no.
mean,
That's hilarious.
that's awesome.
She did not let me get out of the car unless I put on something. And I was like, you know what? But you know what? At the end, I guess it kind of got like reversed because like now I kind of like do being girly. I do enjoy the makeup. I do
Yeah,
enjoy the
Yeah.
girl stuff. I'm not gonna lie about it. I enjoy it now.
of course, of course.
Well, it's funny you said that because I have like the same nephew I'm talking about. One of my sisters, she had four kids, three older boys, and then my niece came along, and she would
Aw.
love to do all that girly stuff too. But she was not afraid of the boys. Though she would be in her like girly like glittery t-shirts and pants and
Huh?
wrestling with them. We like
Yeah.
get off of them. And most of them we were like get off of them, get off of them. No, and now my brother his daughter's the younger one and she's taller than her brother. Yeah, we don't know how the height happened, but we nicknamed her the enforcer
Oh, nice.
because Judah's the Don and Jolene's the enforcer. So because they he's a year older than her and she's taller than him, so it's like okay, well we now figure out how this dynamic.
Well, if she wasn't afraid then, she's definitely not afraid now.
My, all of my nieces, I think, have that in common. They're not afraid of any boy. They'll be as girl as they want to be, but
Yeah.
they grew up with brothers, with their uncles and us. They don't care. They also know that they can just make one phone call, and whoever they're messing with will be surrounded, and he will know what to hit them. So
Obviously. Obviously, I
yeah,
feel the same way. I feel like I'm very like obviously, like I said, I'm a very kind person, but like
yeah.
if I want to test the waters, I know I can because I said I have two older brothers.
Yeah,
So like why not like push a button or two, why not?
Oh man, that would be great. Like you're in a feud. You're like so you don't like how the feud's going. Like just keep it up. I'm gonna call my big brothers. That you really gonna
Here's on me, okay, I'm gonna call it. Just wait.
there is a little bit of diabolical underneath that. Then okay.
I respect it. I respect it. The smile made the smile just cemented it. Yeah, there's diabolical underneath there.
This helps me get away with 99.9% of the things I do.
Oh,
So, fun
you're
fact.
hearing it here. You're hearing it here, guys. Truth coming
Yeah.
out.
Fun fact. When I started wrestling, I worked with it. She also trained with us. She was smaller than I am. You guys know me. I am not petite. I am a big girl, and I will admit it proudly. So when I first started training with her, they automatically made me the heel, right? Obviously. But I had a problem with smiling. That anytime I would punch her, hit her, suplex her, throw her, you would see like happiness because it was.
Yeah,
And her reaction was not like she could actually like have a serious face and she
yeah.
she was the baby face. So then one time our coach was just like, yeah, we're not gonna
Yeah,
do
just you know what, I can't do
it.
this.
And I can't be a bad guy. I've tried to be a heel. It does not work for me. I can do it, obviously. But if you ask me if I prefer to be a heel or a
Right.
face, I gravitate towards being a face. I love kids, and
Yeah.
I've every show I've ever gone to, which is like my favorite part, honestly, guys. Like the kids, like every
Mm,
time I come out and they come running towards me and they hug me, and it's so surreal, and it's honestly one of the best feelings about being a pro wrestler. The
yeah.
kids, the
Yeah.
fans, the energy that they give you. You just feed off of that, and it's
Yeah.
it's amazing. You
Yeah.
get me?
Yeah, absolutely. That's just cool. You're probably I think the first person we've talked to so far that said they prefer being a face. 98% of everyone we talk to likes to be the
Yeah.
heel. I just thought of that.
But I'm also going to throw this out. One day down the road, you're going to do your Bailey Hugger to modern Bailey transformation, and you're going to take Texas by storm because they're going to be like, we never saw this heel character coming, and we're a little bit scared. Down the road, down the
All
road.
I'm saying is you could just full on Joker it. The whole smiling thing, just keep smiling, but like, haha, that hurt. That was awesome. So
Yeah, I've been told that I'm very sassy, and like they're like, why don't you add that to your, like to your character? And I was just like, well, it's because I have no reason to be sassy. Like, like I could be, but like, I'm not, like I said, it's just hard for me to be like the aggressor or which is funny, right? Because I'm like the big girl considered with all the female wrestlers I've wrestled, always the biggest girl. And I'm always like, no, like, let's not. It's okay. We'll be fine.
you tell why aren't you sassier? Well, my brothers aren't in the audience, so just, but you let them come to the show, then I'll be sassier.
No, you can do it. It's okay. No, but I mean, I like it. I like I said, I can do
Yeah.
both. But if I had a preference, yes, I do like being a baby face. I enjoy it. It's fun.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I don't think there's anything wrong. I don't think there's anything wrong with that because, like, I do think that sometimes we do hear the "I like to be heel" answer a lot. It's like, does anyone want to be a good guy anymore? But so it's there you go. So see, that's a good thing. I mean, that's a good stand up because, like, that was something I did notice. I think the first time I saw you live probably was the hybrid show.
Yeah.
Was the hybrid show, and
Yes.
then like I was like, because like when you came out, I was like, well, she just seems pleasant as pie. That just seems like a nice person right there.
I mean, honestly, guys, the person that you see in the ring is literally the person outside of the ring. Like I said, I am not far from what Denisse Dae. Like, so the whole dream catcher thing, the whole how that came to be was when I first started training, my coach asked me to think of yourself. How do you see yourself? Ask your friends, ask your family, how do they see you as a human being? All right. And I got like a lot of like, oh, so nice, so sweet. And one of the things that kept popping up was like, oh, like you're a dream chaser, you're pursuing your dream to become a wrestler, a dream catcher. And one day that just clicked and they were like, the dream catcher, you're chasing your dreams, and that should be your logo. I don't know. Yeah, your persona,
nickname. Yeah.
dream catcher. And I was like, I like that, because I'm not really far from my character. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. That's just how it came to be.
Right.
That's cool.
Yeah, no way like that.
Yeah.
Going back to your training, do you remember like your first when you turned 18, you were going on your own? Do you remember like your first day there and what it was like?
Yes, I remember because my body still remembers.
It doesn't almost seem like you had like a moment, just like yeah, I remember how that felt.
Yeah, I didn't think that would it feel like what I felt that day. I left when I took my first bump. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, this is no jokes. All right. I was scared, honestly. I was scared to do something so. I mean, wrestling, it is a crazy world. So I was scared to do crazy things in the ring, right? Because especially like I said, growing up, seeing all these athletes and everything that they could do, I was just nervous, because I want to do just as good as them.
Yeah.
But yes, I remember my first day and it hurt, and I left with a lot of bruises that day.
Yeah. So we've interviewed a lot of the people from Hybrid over here, and so they, I guess, kind of the way they do it, they start with a lot of cardio before they really start taking bumps. And he's the greatest guy. He's one of our best wrestling friends. But Casey Blackrose, we have our favorite story because he tells us, and other people will tell us that he set the hybrid record for throwing up the most on his first day of cardio. And he was like, yeah, he was like, I just, I was like, but I didn't give up. I kept coming back. But he's like, I threw up multiple times. And
yeah, and it happened. I didn't throw up. I will be honest with you, but I think I do have a really good, strong system, like to a point where like I could eat and go on a roller coaster and not throw up. By the way,
Okay.
but no, what at our coaches the way it trained, it was in his backyard, right? Because we didn't have a place yet, so we would train in his backyard. So obviously, whatever the weather was outside, that's what we had to deal with. If it was 103 outside, guess what? We're training on that. If it's 50, 40 degrees, guess what? We're gonna train in that. So if anything, I think that helped us like prepare us for whatever, right? Because in wrestling, we wrestle sometimes outside, we wrestle sometimes inside. So I think it already prepared me for that.
Right.
But yes, no, the cardio, that's for sure the first thing we did before any bumping, any flipping. And I realized that no matter how much cardio you do at the gym, it's nothing in comparison to a wrestling cardio.
Right.
I did the mistake once of going to the gym before going to training. So yeah, I think that's the only time that I actually did throw up. But because I worked out with my coach, so he was already like, "You can go another set. You can do it again. Go, go, go." And then it hit 6:30. He's like, "Oh, it's time for training." But I was just very determined, and I wanted to get that workout in. But I mean, it's a lot of cardio. It's a lot of hard work, and like Casey said, that's how you know you love it. Because if you were going to suffer or whatever, or throw up or whatever, and you're willing to go back, then it's for you. You love it that much to go back. So I agree with Casey there.
Yeah. And actually, that's another part of so many of the stories with the people we've talked to is the different ways they've talked about, like, no, I wanted this, I love this, like I wasn't going to not do it. And we just really love and appreciate that passion that clearly you guys have. And I think this is part of what we love about wrestling as a whole. So
yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And I'm sorry if I like change like story. I start with one story and I go into another and another and another and another, and then I come back to it.
I told you. We're good.
My actual job is I help people edit their college papers. I tell them, if you ever go off on a tangent, but you're doing it to make your point, then it's fine. However, on this show, we go off on tangents all the time, and it's very seldom us to ever make our point. So this doesn't matter here.
Don't worry, like every 7 or 8 minutes, I'll be like, oh yeah, question or something. We'll get back on track eventually.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm not getting graded on this, right, Tommy? I'm not getting graded on this. I mean, I'm going back to
even though it's winter semester, my hours were from 1 to 6, so I am off the clock. If your paper's wrong, it's on you. Okay. You're right. We sometimes I do get some papers. I'm just like, I don't know if I have enough time in the day to help you with this.
I give you credit. That's no.
Yeah.
I teach high school math, so if you want to be graded on math, we can do that too.
I love math.
Yes. Yeah. No one ever says that.
I love math, especially algebra. Oh my God. I remember I know I'm gonna sound like a nerd. I was a nerd in school, okay? I'm not gonna lie. Okay, I was. Okay.
You're in good company.
But yeah, exactly. And I loved math so much. And everybody's like, really? You like math? Why? Why don't you? It's so
exactly.
Y'all just became best friends.
And if you ever need to slightly change the dream catcher, the denominator, it's right there. Just throwing it out there.
That's actually pretty good.
The denominator. I like that. You know what's funny? I always see like memes on like or jokes about who decided to add letters to numbers. I actually like that. Am I weird for that? I actually like figuring out what is Y, what is A.
Well, you're not weird for that, but I do know my brother would probably like just be like he will look at you, he will judge you immediately for that, because even though in our family, my dad is actually like the math wizard in our family. It didn't trickle down to all of his kids though. because I got into English. Because so a couple of them got it, but not
Mhm.
all of us did. I think my oldest sister got it a little, and then the rest of us we can count. We can
Yeah,
count real good,
obviously.
and then
Yeah.
that's kind of where it stops.
For right, as
So,
long as we can count it, it
There you
happens.
go.
It's
Yeah.
okay.
yeah, the basic everyday math. But the sad part is, as a teacher, I'm usually like, because they were like, I was like, because ancient people like were trying to figure out how to live and do things. Like
Yeah.
letters didn't come there because they wanted to torture you. Like
They
they were
just
trying to figure things out and like live and sell stuff, and but they don't want to hear that.
Can I just say thank you to both of you, Mike? Like you're a teacher, so thank you for everything that you do for the students. It's great, especially I know during the whole freaking pandemic. I can't even imagine what you guys went through, but I just want to
Yeah,
say a thank you
Oh,
yeah.
for all of us. We appreciate you. I know it's hard being a teacher. I love teachers. You guys don't get enough credit, but you guys are wonderful. So I just want to say thank you for everything that you do, and thank you for helping like people like me that have run-ons and run-ons and run-ons. But we get back to the story, Tommy. Okay, we get back to
No,
the
I'm
story.
pretty sure if you were in our class, like it would be a blast. Like
yeah.
you
Yeah.
care, so
Even if you were like even if you're a student because what I do is at Northwest Vista College here. I
Yeah,
tutor everyone with their papers. So even if you were like coming up here, it was like paper's wrong, but dang it, she's nice. So because believe me, attitude makes a difference.
yeah.
True story. We've had students come in with like the worst papers, but they come in like they say it from the jump, like I'm terrible at this. Can you please help me get better? And that makes all the difference in the world. When they say
yeah,
I want to get better, like we had a guy who was a soldier. He was ex-military, and he said he felt more confident with his papers now after visiting us, and that just like that's a huge feather in our cap. What one lady a year ago, she came every single week and got an A in her class because she kept coming every week. So we were
Mhm.
like, hell yeah, Miss Deborah. Yeah.
that's
So
how
we
that's
love her so much.
fun.
Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, attitude makes a difference, and we can't circle this back to wrestling because you're
Yeah.
dedicated to it and all that makes the difference. So so see, I did it.
Also, we're gonna slightly take this away from an interview, and Denise, you're just gonna keep saying nice things about us because we don't get complimented a lot. I'm just kidding.
we're, just gonna, we're just gonna have her come on every week to start the show, say a nice thing.
Nice things with Denisse Dae.
Denise,
Hey, well, I mean, why can't you? Freaking Maddie had that side character Monday, which she verbally destroyed everyone she was ever in.
yeah, I mean they were funny, but she did
Yeah,
disrespect a lot of people.
dude.
It be like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and the level of disrespect she could hit. My God, I don't know.
I
Can't believe
love
she
that
only.
for her though. You see,
Yeah,
I love that
No,
though.
she's so good at it.
she's so good. I told Mike when he was first getting back into Mission Pro and everything.
Yeah.
I had actually met Maddie when she first started. Like it wasn't like her very first match or anything like that, but when she first started, and I was like, that person is not the main character of everyone's lives with the stamp. These are not the same people, but. And that's an amazing transformation to me because that's not who I met although a couple of years.
And that's how it is, honestly. In wrestling, you not only develop as a wrestler, but you do develop as a person in general.
Yeah.
I remember when I first started, I was very insecure again because I am on the heavier side, right? I'm a big girl.
Yeah,
I didn't look like the wrestlers that I grew up watching. I was always self conscious about it, and it always made me feel like I would never get to it because of my weight. Like that was literally my mentality. Again, I was a teenager.
Yeah.
Society tells you have to look a certain way, all these things, and that was stuck in my head, because I knew I didn't look like the women that we saw on TV. But as I grew up, as I got older, I understood the idea that every single person is going to look different. And
yeah,
maybe me be even the first person to be a little different. I mean, AJ Lee was the first like nerd, and that worked for
yeah,
her, and
Yeah.
I loved her, by the way. She's my inspiration. And there was always something different. And what if there was a different kind of wrestler. Um, but I understand it now, and no shame, right? Like I like being the bigger girl. I like that I'm a powerhouse. I like that I can carry three women on my shoulders and throw them off. It's such an empowering movement, and I loved it. And I grew up as a person and understanding that. Obviously, yes, I do want to be in the best shape I can be. I'm not gonna.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I go to the gym. I work out, and I do want to get better. Like, but not necessarily like, because in my mentality when I was younger, I was like, oh, I want to be skinny. I want to be skinny. Like I don't, that was my mentality. Now my mentality is I just want to get stronger.
Yeah.
If I can get fit and just be a stronger girl, to me that's everything now. Like that in wrestling helped me that because I saw so many people, so many different girls, really tall girls, especially because I'm short. I'm 5'3", guys. So you know I saw there was so many like different women, and they did not look the same, and that helped me because it's literally women empowering other women, and that's what helped. And also, I also wanted to get stronger because I didn't really get to train with a lot of women. Growing up as my wrestling career, I trained with men. I I literally, like how they mentioned, I learned how to be rough and tough because I would wrestle men because there was not a lot of women for me to grow up. And so yes, I guess you could say I could take a hit from a guy and be okay with it because most of my matches have been with men.
Yeah.
And that's crazy to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do want to tell you something because I don't know if you maybe even realize this, but at the last MPW show with Silver Bells 3, you were in that four-way match,
Mhm.
and they were setting up in the corner. They were starting the superplex, and the other person got there, and then you were on the other side, and I swear there was a smile on your face. You were like, "Aha, I got this."
I remember that too. It's like,
So you go in there and just power bomb them all down.
yeah, like the look at your face definitely said, my time has finally come.
Like they're all distracted now, so I can take advantage of it. Yay!
Peasants, you shall all fall at my whim. So
Because I kept getting taken out. I kept
Yeah,
getting punched. I kept getting thrown out. I was
I
like, what
mean,
the heck?
Jasmine Lord's in the match, and she's pure evil. So
I just want to say I got my revenge pretty well.
yes, you did.
you did on
You
all
should
of
do
them.
it again. You should do it again more often.
Obviously,
Revenge her. Revenge her often is what I'm saying right now.
yes. No, and like I said, because I grew up with just, I mean, in the wrestling industry growing up, right? I keep saying grew up, but like, yeah, I grew up as a person, but like my starting career, like I said, it was all men.
Yeah.
So the first time I went to Mission Pro, I was surrounded by women,
Yeah.
and I just wanted to cry, but like of just happiness
Yeah.
because I was so happy to be surrounded by more women. Like it's different. I don't know how to explain it. Like
No,
you know, we're in different locker rooms all the time, but like to be with other women, and it's just it's just such a surreal moment. Like I've wanted to go to Mission Pro for the longest time, and a year ago, everything was different. Like last year, I broke my hand, so I was out for wrestling for a while.
yeah,
I lost my job because I couldn't perform my job anymore. Everything was just things kept going south, 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 south to the point where like my depression went horribly. And then this year I got a new job that I love. I started going to the gym. I ended up losing about almost 30 pounds of weight. I became champion, and I got to debut for Mission Pro. And honestly, this year has been the best career for my wrestling career. Like in general, this year has been the best. I've given it my all, and it shows that when you put in the work, um, stuff starts to happen. And so the second I got the message from Emily, like, "Hey, are you available for Mission Pro on August 12th?" I was just like, I was in the restroom doing my makeup because I was about to start wrestling,
yeah.
and I saw the message, And I went up and I started crying. I was like, oh no, oh no. But it was, I just couldn't believe it because that was my goal for the year. And I was like, if I get to go to Mission, oh, that would be everything, right? That
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
everything to me. And the fact that it happened, I was just blown away. It was just
Yeah.
so grateful for the opportunity. And then the silver bells. It was funny because Christmas is my favorite holiday, guys.
Yeah.
Same.
And and then I saw that they were gonna have one for December, and I was like, that would be such a cool Christmas gift from the wrestling industry, just to wrestle at Mission Pro for the silver bells. And next thing you know,
There you
I got
go.
a message, and I was just like, yeah, I'm gonna start crying again.
Yeah.
It-
See, this is what you should have told your mom. See, that's the problem. If I put on makeup, I'm gonna keep crying, and it's gonna just fly right off. So,
and I'm just gonna look like Bloody Mary, and it's just gonna look better.
that's a good reference.
That is
But
That's a
you
good
know, thank you,
Oh.
thank you. I'm here. I'm here 24/7. Just call me.
Oh man, I actually was gonna ask you that because Mission Pro in like in
Bloody
the
Mary. Oh, okay.
not, I mean, well, we can talk about that too. I'm not
No.
gonna say it 3 times, but like because Mission Pro in the past few years has become like this amazing like kind of staple of wrestling, not just in Texas but worldwide. Because primarily do a title match things like that. And I wasn't asking like because how it felt to get that call because or Texas as you said because that's a real it's a great company. Thunder Rosa and the team Brian all that they really do put a lot of work into making it one of the premier companies to work for, even on the indies.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, for sure. It's an amazing company, and like I said, I am still grateful for the opportunity. And I will always be grateful for having the opportunity, and I hope that I get to come back again next year. I am still growing as a wrestler. Like I said, that when they ask me how long I've been doing this, it's always a tricky question because
Yeah.
when I started, we started with during the pandemic, and
Right.
then I lost about a year and a half because of my hand injury. So theoretically, yes, I've been doing this for 4 years, but wrestling wise, I want to say that I've only done it for 2.5 at
Yeah.
most.
Mhm.
So I am still growing. I am still making mistakes, but that's how we learn. We learn from our mistakes, and there's always room for improvement. So I hope if I get back to Mission Pro, I get to deliver a better version of myself. Because I'm not stopping and I haven't stopped, and I keep hitting the gym, I keep hitting training, and I just like I said, I want to become the best version of myself that I can be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we will continue to message Brian and Emily and those involved, and
Yeah. I
we'll,
don't know
we'll
if
all
you, yeah,
talk.
because I don't know if you noticed, we're pretty annoying when we want to be, and I like I I tell a lot of people because like I've been going to River City Wrestling since 2005, and that's how long I've known Brendan Oliver. I've told people I think he's brought in some people just so I would shut up and not message him anymore on like this like on social media. It's like I really do believe he's like if I bring this one person in, he'll probably be on for 6 months. It's going to cost me a fortune. It'll totally be worth it.
Well,
So
that's
yeah,
great, because I actually want to go to RCW too, just throwing it out there.
well,
Hey, look, there is a Rumble Royale apparently coming up in January. I don't know if you're already booked, but apparently there's like a women and a men's Rumble,
yeah,
which means they need some people.
you
I
want to
mean, I would love the opportunity. I've been I've been kind of like scared, like I said, because I am always gonna be like insecure about it because, like I said, I've only been doing it for 2.5 years.
go? Yeah, for sure.
So, and these companies like Mission Pro and RCW, I know they have a lot of room for like bringing in new wrestlers, giving them the opportunity. Um, I want to work on myself a little bit more so
Hmm.
I can deliver. You get me?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Um, I'm always gonna shoot my shot. I shoot my shot with Mission Pro. I didn't think I was gonna get it, to be honest with you,
yeah,
and I got it. So I mean, I don't know. I do want to go a little harder, because like I said, this year it has been the best year for my wrestling career. Who knows what 2024 is gonna bring? I am excited for it.
yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, RCW is actually one of my dream places to wrestle too.
Well,
Well,
like we said, Tommy's got
Brandon,
Brandon. Yeah.
all of them.
Do you remember your first match?
Yes.
What was that like?
Okay, so my first match, theoretically, it happened during the pandemic. So we
Okay.
had it in my coach's backyard. It was recorded though. It was
Yeah.
Okay.
live recorded. So, if you messed up, live people would see it.
Right.
So it still was just as nervous as obviously without the crowd. So my first match was with a character called Starman, right? Like I said, I've been wrestling men.
Yeah.
Um, I won, obviously.
Wow.
That's
Nice.
awesome.
Of
Obviously.
course.
Nice.
um, so it was fun. So I got to experience it. But my first official match was with the girl that I told you about that she used to train there with us.
Yeah.
And it was in Uvalde, Texas,
Mm.
and it was a big crowd.
Mhm.
And I was super nervous because I
Yeah.
never wrestled in front of a crowd. And I just remember the second I heard my theme song go off, I was like, oh, okay, it's time. And my heart was going like 100 miles per hour. Like I was just like, "Ew, this is like I'm gonna die here." Uh, the second I got out of the curtain, it was just such a surreal feeling. Like I can't explain how it feels. It's amazing. And I knew that, yeah, I was right. This is exactly what I want to do for the rest of my life. I got in the ring. I had a match. It was fun. And I took the win again. So, it's, yeah. So I
Nice.
won both my first matches. It was fun.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That is.
Yeah. That's so cool.
And again, I don't know. I love to hear from y'all when y'all talk about stepping into the ring and the way it just kind of changes and the way um like you just realize you belong in there. I love hearing those stories. Those are really cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just like a confirmation,
Yeah.
like you said, people can say like, oh, I want to do this and this and that and that. But it's not until they do it
Yeah.
that they know for real as if that's exactly what they want to do. And so, like I said, my mom was not very like, no, that's for boys, leave it to the boys, whatever. I was like, I'm just gonna go try it out, ma. Like if I don't like it, then I don't like it, right? And if I
Right.
Right.
do, well, I'm sorry, ma, I'm gonna do it. And yeah, that's how it was, and I fell in love with it and never gave up on it. Just
Yeah.
kept
That's really cool.
What's the furthest you've traveled for a show?
going. Bay Cliff on the outskirts of Houston.
Okay.
Oh,
That's
okay.
that's the farthest I've traveled. Going up, going
Yeah.
south,
Y'all
uh
do shows in Mexico?
no, I actually do want to wrestle in
Oh, okay.
Mexico, because my dad lives over there,
Yeah.
and
Oh, okay.
my dad's never seen me wrestle, and
Mm,
I didn't grow up with my dad. Okay,
yeah.
I was 5 years old, so I didn't grow up with my dad for the past 10 years in general,
Yeah.
but he lives over there, and he told me that he would like to see me wrestle. That he tells me I'm your biggest fan. My dad and my mom were total
Oh,
opposites. My mom was like, no, like no, that's for
yeah.
boys. Leave it alone. My dad's
Yeah,
like,
that's usually how that
that's
one goes
cool.
out.
And my parents are very like strong Mexicans. Like my mom was like, no, esos de hombres, no lo toques, no lo toques, no lo déjalo ir, lo que estás haciendo, estás loca, estás loca. And I was just like, I don't know what to do. And my dad was like, that's cool. You should do
Yeah.
it. Like
That,
total
yeah. Oh my
reaction.
god, that's a total like typical parental response.
Yeah.
Mother completely loses her mind. Dad's like, all right, see what happens.
Yeah, go for it. Try it. So if anything, I do want to wrestle in Mexico. One, because I can say I've wrestled out of state.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
two, uh the main reason is for my dad to see me wrestle.
That'd be
Because he
really
always
cool.
tells me he's my biggest fan, and to come over there and kick some butt over there. And I'm like, yeah, I would love to do that. So that's pretty cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah. When you said it about your mom going off on you, that's like when I grew up with all like my best friends, Hispanic, Mexican, their moms would yell at them in Spanish. I was like, okay, so what'd she say? And my friends were like, my friends, Hispanic parents, they were like, I don't know, but I know I'm in trouble. And they just got up and say what they did. And I'm like, but dude, don't you know? It's like, dude, I don't have a clue what she just said. I just know I'm in trouble. That's why I learned Spanish until I got to college.
You just know that you're in trouble when and it's true when they say your full name.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God.
That translates. Yeah, that translates into
universal.
Yeah, because like I said, my nickname is Didi, right? Or in my household, okay, y'all can make fun of me or bully me for this, but they will call me like Panchita, like Panchita. It's just a nickname. So whenever I hear my mom go, Daniela, and I'm like, what happened? What did I do? I'm like, but it's crazy. But
yeah,
now my mom, I guess because she finally understood or kind of accepted it that I was not gonna like stop.
Yeah.
She was just kind of like, okay, when's your next fight? And so she's very supportive now. She actually does support me a lot. She encourages me to not give up, to keep going. And my mom is actually like my best friend, and so I want to do it. I want to make her proud. My older brothers have always been very supportive of my wrestling dream. They've helped me they always send me messages to be like, hey, don't give up. You love this. Keep going. Don't stop. The shirt that you're wearing, by the way, Mike, my brothers helped me pitched in to buy them. So
really?
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
That's totally awesome.
They're like, we believe in you. Whatever you need, here's the money. Go out and make us proud. But we're doing this if you promise us that you're not going to give up and that you're going to keep trying and that you're going to make us proud. And I was like, that's exactly what I'm going to do. And so whenever I see anyone like buy a shirt, thank you, Mike, by the way, or a picture or anything like that, I just tell my brothers like, hey, guess what? We just sold a shirt, like we are doing this because my brothers are awesome. Like they've always been protective brothers, right? Obviously.
Oh, yeah.
But they've always actually been my biggest supporters too. When my mom was the one being like, no, they were like, hey, leave her alone. Like this is her dream. She's going to do it. And like I said, now it's nice to know that I have my dad support, which I've always had, my brothers, my mom, because my mom's opinion does mean a lot to me. And the fact that she's very like keep going, don't give up, you love this, like now it's like, okay. And she used to complain a lot, right? Because I had like WWE posters all over my room and shirts and action figures, and she was like, yeah, I guess.
All right, how many different color Cena shirts did you have over the years?
She stopped and dropped her head. She had a lot.
Did you have the full Skittles bag?
Y'all gonna roast me. Okay, let's just say I had a John Cena wall.
Okay, that actually does answer a lot of questions. It was the pause that sold that immediately.
Yeah.
My mom, one time, she came into my room, saw all the posters, saw the John Cena wall. Also got in very trouble because I had like paintbrushes and I painted my closet and put like, oh, I love John Cena, wrestling. And, the second she saw that, she was like, Daniela, Denise, Bernal, ¿por qué hiciste eso? I was like, oh no. But I just loved it so much that I wanted my room to show, because it says what your room says a lot about you. My room was wrestling. That's what it was.
Mom, in my defense, you left me unsupervised, so really, who's at fault here?
And pay with my money to get these things. And it was funny because my mom, like I said, she wasn't a big wrestling fan. But she was the one who got me the John Cena poster, and that's what started the John Cena
Okay,
wall.
you know what? I wonder how often that keeps her up at night. Just like she's like just sits on the edge of her bed. That one damn poster. That one damn poster.
She got rid of the wall of the closet doors, by the way, guys. That's how bad it was. I'm trying to look for a picture of it. I am not making this up. I
totally believe
I had a John Cena wall. It's
It was your immediate stop when the question was asked that just told us so much. You could have not answered the question at that point, and I still would have been able to guess how much John Cena.
Guys, I was obsessed. Like I was obsessed with John Cena, and it was funny because, like I said, my mom wasn't a big fan of it. But when she heard that WWE was coming down, and I knew John Cena was coming because they announced it, I was like, please, like I'm not gonna ask for anything, but just please, 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 please take me. I had like my John Cena shirt on. I was like, please, please, please. So she bought the tickets and she took me. And the second John Cena's song came out, guys, I started crying. I was just, because you get shocked when you meet the person that inspired you. Like I said, he was the reason why I started watching wrestling. And I started crying. And, typical Mexican mom. She said this comment, guys, by the way. You should cry when I die. I was like...
The other acceptable answer was the old, why are you crying? I'll give you something to cry about. Why are you crying?
She literally said, llora cuando me muera. Translation, cry when I die. I was
like... But while you were crying, were you able to lift up your "Marry Me, John Cena" sign? Or
I was just gonna ask him in person, so there's no need to bring it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, your mom was probably like, "Okay, I'm taking." Your mom was probably like, "I'm taking you to the show. You're not asking this man to marry you." So yeah, no, that's the line we're drawing this out right here.
And for full disclosure, so we're not just roasting you. I went to multiple WWE shows in my early 20s with "Marry Me, Lita" signs. So just so we're clear.
You want to know what? I can top both of y'all right now, and I'm gonna tell you the story.
Is this the picture that just popped up in our memories like earlier this month?
It might have. Does Jessica Havoc one? Is that yes? Okay. So Denise, I am and will always forever be a huge fan of Jessica Havoc.
Oh, okay.
She used to wrestle in Austin a lot. One time she came down and I made a sign. I even cut out the Umbrella Corporation logo from Resident Evil, and it said "Marry Me, Jessica Havoc," and brought that sign. My friends roasted me. I was like, "Don't care, love her. Bring in the sign." I showed her the sign. She took a picture with it and everything. She signed it and she said, "I'll think about it." I chanted, "It's not a no. It's not a no. It's not a no."
That's a win. Yeah. That is a win.
That's what I've been saying. I told everyone that for years. That is my win, and none of you are taking that from me.
So you're saying there's a chance.
so you're not saying no.
I was like, I'll think about it. I was like, so there needs to be some convincing done. All right. Just gotta do some work here.
What do you want? I got you.
It's like, okay, name your condition. And everyone did laugh at the sign at first. I didn't care, but when she signed it, everyone was like, "There's no way she put I'll think about it all that." And I was like, "Read it and weep." I still have it somewhere. I don't know where I put it, but I still have it.
Also, I think this is about to be another interview where the YouTube title is going to be "These Three Hung Out," and some questions were asked at some point.
These three hung out.
And someone was recording it.
Got to put in. There was an interview somewhere in here. We forgot where it was.
But that's how you know you're having a good time on the interviews, when it actually just feels like you're hanging out with your friends. Because honestly, guys, I honestly just feel like I'm hanging out with you guys, and it's fun. I'm being asked questions, and then we're laughing about it, and then we're talking about who we're gonna marry. I mean, it's fine. It's fine.
Our constant joke is Jessica Havoc is my alternate reality ex-wife.
He has a whole story set up that like they did get married in this alternate reality, but then some stuff didn't quite work out.
But I still care about her, so I still support her and everything. I'm a fan fiction writer, so this story wasn't hard to come up with for the life of me.
Hey, you married her. That's what matters. You married her. She's your wife. I am proud of you.
Someone finally understands my point. Thank you, Denise. Oh my God, no one ever listened. No one ever understood what I was saying.
No one ever appreciates. That's what I felt like.
Exactly, man. I had this whole story and no one ever appreciated it until now. About time someone.
I agree, though. I agree. You guys are married in another universe, and it's fine. It's fine.
See?
You know,
Thank
it's
you.
fine.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, and then in another
Right.
universe, you actually guys did like survive. You guys are good. You guys are living the life. I agree.
They see, Mike. Mike, we got to interview.
It is the rules of the
Yeah,
multiverse.
we got to
Yeah,
interview her more often. See, so it's
Yeah, she's a part of the Wrestlecast now, so we've got nice things with Denise.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just gonna.
Jokes with Denise, guys. I'm hilarious, guys.
I
I'm hilarious.
I love the
do
confidence.
too. It's great. It's like, man, I wish I had that.
I was told this once, and I don't know if I should be offended or should just take the compliment. But I remember a guy specifically telling me, "Hey, you're pretty funny for a girl."
Oh.
I was like,
and add to the list of things to say to never get a second date.
Did you body slam him
You
on his
should have.
car?
I did chop them, but you know,
Okay,
I was like,
that's the appropriate response. You did the right thing. So yeah.
for
No
a
problem.
girl, I'm pretty funny.
I mean-
in general, period. That's the period,
Yeah.
brother. That's where the period goes.
Yeah.
Hilarious, guys.
You did the right things.
Yeah, my
No,
mom
but-
agrees. My mom agrees. I'm very
A thro-
funny.
A throw punch would have also been
Yeah.
acceptable.
Who says I
Hey.
did it?
Okay,
Okay.
charges still
Take care of
charges
business.
still
Guys,
pending.
I
Right?
found
You can't
it.
talk about it.
I promise you, I was not ignoring you guys. I was looking for the picture.
No, I believe you.
No,
I believe.
Oh, I also had a wrestling blanket. So I don't know if you guys will be able to see it, but that
Oh,
is,
I can see it.
sorry, that is my little sister messaging me here. But
Nice.
That's awesome.
Oh, that is
That's
hilarious.
great. That's great.
that was my room, guys. That was my room with posters on the other side of the wall.
I believe it. I believe it.
It was fun. I love it.
My room because Mike knows I'm currently at my parents' house right now because my house is getting some work done. My room had still has like a lot of the 8x10s that I thought was going to be the end of it at one point, and then it's like, how many notebooks are currently sitting next to me that are full of wrestling autographs? These are at least two right here. Yeah, and there's like my gigantic one that I've had probably that started probably back in like 06 or 07.
Oh wow.
And yeah, when I would get WWE magazine, there was a giant ECW poster that's like on this side of the wall that I put up, and all my nephews again were just like, "Oh man, what's that?" I was like, "Oh, that's ECW. Let me show you that. Don't tell your mother. Come here."
Let me show you.
Yeah, anytime I showed them wrestling, I was like, "Yeah, go watch wrestling." The ECW. Come watch ECW. Don't tell your mom I'm showing you.
Go.
You should not know all the ways to use barbed wire.
Oh my god.
Have you ever done a hardcore match yet?
I've been wanting to actually. I actually enjoy, like I said, being rough and tough. So I actually want to be hit with a candlestick. I want to go through a table. I want to have a cage match. I am down to have a street fight match. Like, oh, I'm sorry. Sorry, 1 second. 1 second. You guys are gonna experience this. My little sister won't stop calling me until I answer.
Okay.
Okay,
And-
yeah,
and
hey,
you know
we're on.
what?
Let's go.
You know what? I'm actually kind of for that.
Yes,
What you doing?
I'm doing an interview.
What's that?
An interview is when they ask you questions. I am currently busy. Can I call you right back?
Is she really nice to you? You can tell us.
Hi.
Hi. Is she nice to you, or does she pick on you?
Madeline?
She's nice to me.
Okay.
She did think about it for a while.
Like, what's the correct answer? I was like, what's the correct answer? I'll call you right now.
Are
Okay,
you
Bis-
coming?
I am busy right now, but I'll call you in a bit.
Okay, call me if you're coming.
Oh, okay, I will.
Okay.
Okay, bye, Biscuit.
Bye.
I am sorry, but literally she will not stop calling me until I answer.
There is literally nothing to apologize for in what just happened. That was awesome. So,
I don't know what else there is to go.
I don't
at at
either,
this
man.
point.
We like this is Mike, you called it, Mike. You said we were probably going to end up doing this, and you called
Look,
it.
we have the same energy with her that we have with Black
Yep.
Swan. We interviewed Black Swan, and this is what happened before the interview. We did the interview. We stopped the recording, and we were still on for like another hour just doing
Yeah.
this. And yeah,
Guys, I'm legit having fun. Oh, by the way, my little
Yeah.
sister, she's 8. But if she ever asks you, "Hey, did I help my sister?" No, she will not ask you. She'll tell you. Sorry. Hey, I helped my sister win. I helped my sister win a match. I had a match against Brandon Weiss here at
Oh
Laredo,
my God.
and I
yes,
was chopping him while we were outside the ring, and I grabbed him and I got my little sister. First time going to a wrestling show, by the way, my little sister. I was so nervous that she was not going to do it. I grabbed Brandon Weiss and I was like, Madeline, hit him. And she just goes, yeah.
okay. If it's
Yes!
Brandon,
Yes!
then I guarantee Amanda has that video somewhere.
I hope.
And she is probably laughing during the whole thing.
She told me, by the way, after like I threw him in the ring, pinned him, whatever, I won, got the victory. She told me afterwards, Didi, I helped you, right? I helped you win. I helped you win. I was like, yes, Biscuit, you totally helped me win.
That is awesome.
That might be the best story we've heard on here.
Yeah.
My little sister has been everything. Like she's always like she's 8, guys, but she knows how much I love wrestling. She knows how much I love training, and she's like she always supports me. She's like, Didi, I want to go see you. She calls wrestling training, but because I said training so often, she'll say like, Didi, when are you gonna train? I was like, I don't know, this kid, I'll let you know.
Well,
but she's so supportive, guys. She's only 8, but she's great. Like she's my number one supporter in everything. I would say she's love. I love her. She's great.
That's awesome. Well, I mean,
awesome.
if she wants to keep calling it training, heck, that's what it is. It's gonna be training.
Yeah, that's what it is. You do not question the person that helped me win a fight.
Yeah, I mean, she helped you beat Brandon Weiss, so that makes her automatically okay in my mind.
You don't need my brothers anymore. I got an 8-year-old that is ready.
Now we've got to ask him about that too. Do you remember getting chopped? Well, can you remember getting chopped by the kid?
Yeah.
And Brandon's probably gonna go, wait, which one? It's happening.
Yeah.
It was surreal because that was actually that first that my sister helped me win. It was actually also the first show my mom ever saw me wrestle with my brother and her. So it was the best show for me because I had my mom, my brother, my little sister, family, friends, all seeing me perform, and it was just so surreal because
and icing on the cake, you beat Brandon Weiss. I mean, can you name a more perfect day? I mean,
he deserved it. Okay, he was bullying me and hitting me in front of my family. He even said, "Huh, you enjoying this, Mom? You like seeing your little girl be beat up?" And I was like, "No."
Yeah, there was that Brandon Weiss for a while.
Yeah, I would say, yep.
He's him and Casey. They've kind of in most places there is the wrestling multiverse itself, which depending on which promotion we're at, sometimes people are acting different ways. For the most part, at Hybrid at RCW, they've been a little bit better than they had previous in the year. So I think he's changed. Obviously, being hit by an 8-year-old made him reevaluate his priorities and his choices.
I mean, he lost the match because of her, so he had to rethink his whole career at that point. He's like, I'm doing something wrong. The 8-year-old.
He did really go much more into the flamingo recently, so you know.
He slapped it so hard he became a flamingo.
He became a flamingo, guys. Like I tell you, my sister's a little badass. Like, let me tell you. I'm scared of her. I'm scared of her, low key, right? But we don't tell her that. Okay?
So let's see. Now your little sister and my niece, who's also like around, she's like 7 or 8 now. Now they have to form their own like little clique, like little gang. That way,
yeah.
Oh, I have a niece around the same age. This is
there you go.
This is a little. I think 2 as a tag team, 3 as a faction.
3 as a faction, yeah. So.
And they will be guys. They're gonna take over the world. I'm telling you. I am telling you. Like my little sister is always like, I want more friends. You know, because of the age gap. Like I can play with her and everything, but it's obviously she wants closer friends, I guess.
Yeah.
Because I always play with her, but guys, when she says, Didi, can I do your makeup?
I mean,
I
we're
look like a clown at the end of that.
I was gonna say was, and we're back to looking like Sting.
I was just say, make sure you're not going anywhere
Yeah.
afterward. You know.
No, but she was so confident about it. She's like, Didi, you look so good. You look like a bad. And I was like, what did you say? My sister has no filter, guys. Like, she will straight up cuss. She's 8 years old, and she will tell me, Didi, you look like Didi. You are a bad, And I'm like, where is this coming from? Where is this coming from? Technically, it was my fault, guys. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, it was me.
I'm not going to judge you because I'm more than positive I've ruined several generations of RCW kids. You know what? No, I take it back. I have confirmed I've ruined several generations of RCW kids. And do you want to know how I know I've done that? Some of them have ended up at Hybrid. Yeah.
Who is
Devin
it?
Carter,
Casey,
Kevin.
Devin.
That's right, Casey. Yeah, they all saw me at RCW, and I was like, this is my fault. I did this. I ruined them as children, and now they've grown up as adults, and my nightmare is coming back to haunt me.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like I said, we enjoy seeing you guys. Like, we enjoy. Like I said, the second I see you guys when I'm walking out, it's fun. I'm like, oh, today is gonna be a great day. Let's go. Let's go get it. Let's go get that match.
Well, your match will never be quiet. That's for sure.
I love that. I don't want my match to be quiet. I want there to be noise. I want there to be fun, excitement.
I had to do one time. He was having a show somewhere out of San Antonio. He asked me, he's like, hey, can you make this show? I was like, why? No one in the crowd says anything. You do. I need you to just come to one show to show them they can be loud. I was like, sure, I guess.
We do need that barrier because there's some crowds where it's just quiet because they're a little shy or something to make noise. But like I said, we have someone like Tommy that starts it, and then everyone follows, and it just makes the night even better. Like, you get excited. Like, personally, when I'm in the ring and I hear the crowd and they're chanting like one more time, I'm like, yeah, one more time. Let's go.
No problem.
You want another chop? Give you another chop. Let's go.
Oh man, that's awesome.
All right, Tommy, for the purposes of a recording, any more questions you really want to get to?
I think I'm good for this first recording because I'm good.
I'm sorry. Okay. Yes, if you guys have any questions, I am so sorry. Like I said, I tend to.
No, not at all.
Totally good.
For the viewers, we're going to be stopping this in a minute. For you guys.
For us.
Once we end this, though, we're probably going to be off camera or off the recording still doing this. So just so you know.
If they do have any questions that I didn't get to answer, I mean, like I said, I'm an open book. They can message me. You guys, I would love to come back. We
can have you back. So if you guys have any questions for Denisse that we didn't get to, put them in the comments. Let us know what they are. Yeah. And the next time we have her on, we'll talk for an hour, then record, and then read the questions again.
Oops.
Pretty much.
Oops, sorry, guys.
No apologies.
Do not apologize at all.
But
all right, Wrestle Geeks. Well, this has been fun, but we are going to bring this to an end. So Denisse, again, thank you so much for coming on and just having fun with us. It really was a blast.
Thank you for having me. I had fun. I'm so sorry I rambled, but now I guess people know more than they needed to.
Hey, you want people to get to know you and follow you and come with you on the journey. That's what you do.
Absolutely. So.
Yeah. If it's the one thing that I want them to take from this is that I love wrestling and I am gonna do it for as long as I breathe.
Awesome. And we'll be there with you throughout the whole journey.
All right, so Wrestle Geeks, this is my partner in crime, Tommy. I am Big Mike, and again, that was the Dreamcatcher Denisse Dae. We say thank you and have a good evening.
See you guys soon.
Or whenever you want.